Welcome to the Sitco Bros Podcast.
Welcome to episode 17 of the Zip Code Bros. Today we are covering Mr. In Your House, in your house, Mick Foley. But first, we're just going to kind of pick up where we left off, guys. I heard something today, a great quote. It said, "You're never as young as you are right now."
Oh,
Yeah, very true.
Right?
That's scary. That's scary, actually.
that's
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
So I guess if you're in the living in the moment business, you got to live in the moment and just kind of think about, well, I'm not going to be any younger.
That's like if you take a photo of yourself, it's like, well, I'm never going to be that age again, even though it was like 5 seconds ago.
Right. I guess the phrase really, I'm not getting any younger, is actually true.
Yeah.
Jimmy's lady.
Speaking of younger, Jimmy is in his backyard and not paying attention. So some things
like-
never change, I guess.
I feel like he's walking around with a beer. Like Mr. Okay. I got a great quick story. So my buddy Sam, he's about 10 years older than me. So he's in his 50s. And you guys know the song Angry Young Man, Angry Young Man by Billy Joel?
Yes. Yeah.
So I joke sometimes that he's the angry old man in the song. So I was talking to him right before we got over here, and I'm like, we were talking. He's like, "Nah," he's saying something. I'm like, "Are you the angry old man tonight?" And he's like, "Yeah." Jimmy is the angry young man from that song.
What I like is that you've pressed record and he's gone inside.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Usually what happens. Looks like he was taking
for the record, I do have a right to be angry tonight a little bit.
And why is that?
Why is that?
Yeah.
Not at you, not at myself. Well, not at anybody, but mostly myself. As we're recording the night before, I scraped my head. I said I went for a walk, but I was riding my scooter without a helmet and
Dude.
scraped top. No stitches, no staples, no nothing.
Shoot. Like road rash on top of there?
No road rash. Just I hit a tree limb.
Oh, dude.
Oof.
Oh. Okay, so for the kids watching, always wear a helmet.
Exactly. Moral of the story: wear a helmet.
Wow. That could have been bad, Jimmy.
It could have been. I know. Trust me. I was fine all the way up to like the last 5 minutes of my ride. It was dark out. I didn't see it. I have a light on my scooter, but just I know.
Well, at least you're okay. At least you're okay.
For sure.
Yeah, but I just have a scrape on my head, my hairline.
So that's why you're hardcore.
Yes. He did say he was hardcore before.
And you what's that thing you got the juice the hard way?
Yeah, right.
Hard way for sure. But just always wear a helmet. Save kids, adults. Doesn't matter what age you are, just wear a helmet. Should have, but
I was talking about that with somebody the other day. We were talking about helmets and stuff like that, and I'm like, I never wore a helmet as a kid, but I never don't. Well, I don't want to say double negative, but so what am I trying to say is I always wear a helmet now as an adult, which is weird.
Well, as you get older, you sort of get a bit wiser too.
That's true. But like,
I think
You're a bit
Yeah, but-
reckless. You're a bit reckless when you're younger.
yeah. I was gonna say the stuff we used to do. I was thinking about this the other day. We used to go at the bus stop when it was icy out. We used to grab the bumpers of cars and fucking skid on the back of bumpers while on the ice.
Let's change the verbiage.
What are we getting a MTV Cribs kind of tour?
I was gonna say, yeah.
No tour. But
we're not only that, we're getting
Ah.
Jimmy's getting dinner in the movie right now. Oh,
Pussy
Jimmy, that light, dude.
I'm switching it around. Shut
All
up.
right, thank you. I was gonna say,
Wouldn't be a podcast. It wouldn't be a podcast if Jimmy wasn't sitting down eating dinner during the
yeah,
recording.
right. Yeah, exactly.
What
Watching television.
day are we recording right now?
We are recording right now.
Yeah, we're recording.
Remember when you heard?
Recording on a day.
Remember when you?
We're recording on the day of the week not the weekend like we usually do.
Yeah, like you act like we're gonna wait until Saturday to release it. So the night before. I love it. I love it. So as of, I mean, look, I love you to death and I'm glad you're okay, but you're like, so as of tonight, the night before what, Jimmy?
No, I'm saying we're recording on a weekday, and I'm saying
No.
I worked out for the first time in a while.
My man, that's because he knocks some sense into your head.
Oh,
Ooh,
Say,
Well,
yes, I need to go work out now. I gotta get healthy.
no, I've been my PTSD has been kicking my butt last month, and I've been secretive about that.
Well, why have you been secretive about it, my friend?
The typical male bravado type of thing.
Okay, well, stop it.
yes.
yeah.
Don't
Got to
get
speak up, man.
Well, I'm the human punching bag. It seems like.
No, dude, not around us.
You've always been real with us, Jimmy, and
Yeah,
you know that you can talk to us about anything like at any time. So
It feels like
I mean, like Gallagher and myself, like often, talk real shit with each other, and you got to know that you can do that with us as well.
I try. I do. It's just still learning about a lot about life.
Yeah, for sure.
you are.
You're at that age too, man. I hate to say it like I'm an old fart, but like, dude, you're at that age where you're starting to really understand how it is to start being an adult, right? Being responsible for yourself and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. I've been an adult, quote unquote. I've been taking kind of care of myself for like trying to figure things out for the last decade, 12 years, dozen years really this year. And right around this time it gets harder.
Yeah. Well, I know like when we first discussed this podcast is that, mental health and, all that sort of stuff was one of the big things that we wanted to talk about. So, yeah, like if any of our stories can help someone else, then, we can sort of use this platform, I guess, to kind of speak up about things and just to vent, get stuff off our chests.
Yeah.
Whatever we'd like to talk about. Share what you'd like to share. Keep what you want to keep. That's to everybody here, we've all been there.
Exactly.
Yeah. Some stuff like you might want to bring up on the podcast, some stuff you might want to talk about in private. It's
Yeah, absolutely. There's 5 people that watch us.
yeah, I mean, talking about it is the most important thing you can do. Don't want to suffer in silence.
Yeah, don't bottle it up.
I try not to. I just think a lot, overthink sometimes, and just
You and me both.
There's a great lyric, Amy Winehouse. She says, sometimes I sit and I stare across the water, and in my head I paint a picture of what you're doing. And it's like she's just thinking about shit that it's not relevant, right? She's painting a picture in my head of what, and she understands that she's painting a picture. It's like, yeah, that's not truth. That's what I think's going on. So trust me, we all get in our heads. I'm still in my head. I'll be in my head until the day I die. However, sometimes I do sit back and I stare across the water and I don't paint a picture. So try to think about that sometimes if it meant something to you.
Oh yes, sorry, I'm currently trying to find there was a quote. There's a not quote, but a song
Song lyric.
lyric that's in my head. It's called by one of my favorite artists, Brantley Gilbert, and the lyrics. If you had never had hard days, if you never had a heartbreak, never had more than you can take, or carry the weight of the life on your shoulders, would you feel like you earned it? Would you live with a purpose, or even known your own strength if you've never had hard days?
It's true.
Those hard days are what make
Yeah.
you. And I understand, and I realize that more than I realize, and it's just some days get harder than others. Just when you feel like you have to be the clown, not clown, when you feel like you have to put a front up and just try to make yourself be better, push yourself, and it's just when you're uncomfortable, sometimes it's the scariest thing. And it's one of those things where you need to be okay with not being okay, but know that you mean a lot.
100%.
Yeah.
Next up, I don't know if we're doing it this episode, if we're switching on the fly or not. There's gonna come an episode when we're just gonna shoot the breeze, and I'll get more in tune, more in depth with my background a bit better.
Jimmy, whenever you want to talk about it, it doesn't matter what episode it is.
I
You
know.
run with it.
This episode is supposed to be a good one.
All right, good one.
They're all good.
You know what I meant.
I love the big gold belt, man. That's the coolest thing. I mean, and it was funny because I was never a big fan of it, but then when we were in San Antonio and you had it, and then we saw the one that you just signed and Hogan signed, Bischoff signed that. I'm like, all right, that's a really cool belt now.
A lot of
Mhm.
things have led up to that. Just a lot of ups and downs, a lot of twists and turns in life is where it takes you. And I mean, I don't, as hard as this might sound, I don't regret anything that's happened to me. The good, the bad, the ugly. even the thing that I think about the most, and it doesn't define me, but it's a beginning chapter for me. I hate teasing, but it'll mean a lot to me on a specific date. And I hate being that guy, but I just need to be that guy at the moment.
Dude, do you know? I want to show you my tattoo. There's a note in the beginning of my right. You can see it in the Zoom. You can see the note right here. It's the letter A because it's the beginning of my journey. That's exactly why I got that on my arm. So no, it doesn't sound silly. It's Adam's going through that right now. He's getting his work done on his arm, and everything he's doing is meaningful to him. And Ben, I'm not going to embarrass him by saying how much of a stud muffin he's been and getting that back on track. But Jimmy, that's the whole purpose. You got to tell everybody you're back on your journey. I mean, because positive engages positive. You know what I mean? Like one of the things that I noticed is, yeah.
It's a positive.
How's that for a t-shirt? Positive engages positive.
There you go.
It sounds like a DDP shirt.
Right?
Jimmy, you talked about how you didn't have any regrets, and that was actually something I was talking about with a former player of mine. On a car ride to a 7-on-7 that we had. You know, not sure if any of y'all have, but you sometimes get the question, you know, what would you want to change in your life? And, you know, I do have some go-to answers for that question, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to change anything that happened to me because it's put me where I am now. You know, whether it was good or bad, it's brought me to where I'm at right now. And just the way this summer's been going, I've been fortunate and blessed enough to have a lot of kind of we made it days and moments. And those days and moments probably still would have come if some of the bad things in my life hadn't happened. But at the same time, the bad things and the good things in my life that did happen shaped me into who I am right now in 2023. So, you know, it's awesome to hear that, like, you don't regret that kind of stuff, because good, bad, indifferent, these things shape you. And if you change even one of them, it's going to drastically change who you are now.
Oh yeah. So Ben Jones said something on the on a sister podcast, the Pondwater Talking Wrestling with the Pondwater Dave show.
Pondwater Dave, Amy, Justin.
He said, I have a heart of gold. And the reason why I do, why I give so much, thinking I was teasing it. When I was 13, go back further. When I was 10 years old, my dad was diagnosed with epilepsy. 2 years later, he had a surgery to correct that. Downside of that, he was taking a bunch of medication to kind of get his brain straight. On top of many of his other faults, he was a recovering alcoholic, anorexic, and bulimic, skinny diseases, body image diseases. So he had a hard time keeping food down as it was, and also an recovering alcoholic. And fast forward, when, like I said, he had surgery to correct it. Downside was taking a bunch of medication, altered his brain. He had epilepsy. So he lost his license due to the epilepsy. That September 3rd, the weight of the world came down on him so bad that he hung himself.
Yeah.
And the person that saw him the last was me. The person that found him was me. And so the things I do, that I give and give, because I never want anybody to feel like how I felt that way, not being able to do something to the man that meant so much to me. And so I've learned to just give more than you take. Sometimes people are just takers and they will use you, and it's not the greatest feeling, but sometimes those lessons you need to learn. But just keep giving until you just give more. Just keep giving.
Jimmy, do you follow the Bible app by any chance?
To a degree.
So today's verse was Acts 20:36. It is more blessed to give than to receive. That was a verse of the day, my friend. How about that?
Wow.
I never want anybody to feel like they don't mean anything. I may have my differences with people, but we're all still human trying to figure out way of life, and if I can give anybody a shred of hope, but for me, it's gift giving. Just know that you matter.
Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy, you're a big giver, and yeah, like Pondwater Dave said, you've got a heart of gold.
That meant the world to me when he said that.
One of the things I preach to my players, that's part of my tattoo, is row the boat, and that's what is up on the scoreboard right here. Are two boat oars crossed together to represent that, and I picked that up from PJ Fleck, who's the head coach up at the University of Minnesota. And when you boil it down, it just means don't give up. But there's all sorts of representation within that mantra, with the water being the present that you're in. And when you row a boat, your back is to where you're going and you're facing where you've been, so you don't know what's coming. The boat is your sacrifice. The more that you sacrifice, the more that you give, the bigger you allow your boat to become, so that more can come in and row with you. Your oars are your energy. So when you do come to those choppy waters, those stormy days, you know, are you going to pull your oars in and sit there, or are you going to keep rowing? And then finally, the compass is your direction. It's going to tell you where to row, so that you get to be who and where you want to be in life. And with as much as you give, man, your boat's going to be, or your boat is, huge.
Thank you. And that means a lot. It really does.
Dude, if I can have like a round of applause, like I could like stand up and applaud that. That was amazing, AJ.
Thank you.
It's just one of those things where you don't know where life's gonna take you.
Absolutely.
But for me, in my own personal journey, it's crazy to think where I've come from being a shy kid to going halfway across the world just to go see a wrestling match with the famous manager, I guess, and hang out with him for a few days. To just knowing, having a passion, having a love for hobby for something, not knowing if anybody else is gonna like it, like finding that, have that common interest, to having
A plethora.
a plethora family of wrestling fans that I could never have dreamed of to have been so incredible.
For sure.
And bang bang.
Adam, how was your week, man?
Man, my week's been good. We started summer workouts back up after the dead week for the 4th of July. Got moved over to coaching wide receiver. So actually this morning was my first day coaching wide receivers in my coaching career, and I think it went pretty well. Kind of
Great.
kicking myself for losing sleep over the nerves of that. Guy was going at practice on about 4 hours of sleep, because I couldn't fall asleep. I was so nervous about today.
No.
But, you know, it's all worth it. Got to come home, jump in the pool with my son. He told me he wants to be a football coach like me when he grows up.
Yeah.
So that felt really good. And yeah, man, we're about 2 weeks away from teacher workday starting, so I'm trying to just soak up as much family time as I can before I gotta head back to work.
That's great, man. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
James?
That's been okay.
I appreciate you sharing what you shared with us earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Been okay. How are you, Mr. Gallagher?
I'm okay. I've had some time to myself the last few days, so it's been nice. Kind of the opposite of Ben. I feel bad when I kind of talk about it, but everybody needs their breaks. So I've had a couple of breaks where they've been with their mom. So it's been great for them too, because my little guy has missed mom from a good couple of days before she came home. So she had to drive. She drove from Florida all the way up to Idaho, Washington. She went to go pick up her grandmother's car so she can have it. But she drove from like Florida, like Tampa, Florida, like the bottom of Florida, all the way like literally like the bottom corner of the United States to the top corner of the United States. I'm like, oh my goodness, like better her than me, man. I'm like, it was probably once it's done, I'm like, it's probably something cool to say that you did. But like, I would never want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, it's the Gallagher. So
Oh, Jimmy, you're a big driver. Like, I'm not a driver. I mean, I hate
Well-
spending time in the plane. I hate spending time in the car. I'm a little fucking diva.
I'd say, well, back-to-back weekends, I'd probably put in 50 hours. Not well, I guess by choice, but the first one was because plane tickets are expensive.
Yeah, of course.
I went for vacation, and then the second one, I guess, because I'm a good friend, great friend,
What are you talking about?
Sonny. Oh no,
Oh, when you drove back and forth from Iowa, yeah,
Wisconsin.
whatever it was. He lives in Iowa. Right?
Yes, but
Yeah, so-
we had to drive another 5 hours to get his car in Wisconsin.
Oh, Wisconsin, Green Bay, Wisconsin,
Lake Geneva.
Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Like
Sunny.
an hour, it's like an hour. It's like an hour away from Chicago.
Oh no! What?
But yeah, I did that.
Did you say oh no, as in sunny oh no? Like, oh
Yeah,
no.
well, I was doing like the Mr. Kennedy.
Ah,
I was doing Sunny. Oh no! Oh no! If you know, you know. If you don't, it's silly.
yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, that's all right.
Like I said, for the 20 people who may have watched this, to
20.
Well, we
You're
had 20
generous.
Well, you said we had 20 subscribers, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're watching.
Good point.
Subscribed, and that's what's important.
Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
Gallagher, you want
Michael asks me, he's like, why does everybody say like and subscribe? I'm like, 'cause people get money when they get a lot of subscribers. He's like, I want money. I'm like, I know. So I said, tell your friends to like and subscribe.
I mean, we say it because it seems to be the thing to say at the end of a
Yeah,
podcast.
exactly. Like, never in my life did I think I was ever going to say that out loud. Not even in my head, not even silently to myself. I never thought I would say it. Like and subscribe. Hit the button below. Like and subscribe.
No, they say don't forget to smash that subscribe button or something. And it's like, well, why would you smash it? Because then it's broken, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Just tap it nicely.
yeah.
Smash it.
Hell to the yeah. That's all I gotta say.
We're hardcore.
We're hardcore. You are hardcore, Jimmy.
Yeah, you're fighting trees now. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, when's your match against the Lorax?
Hey, you could have a lumberjack match.
Don't you mean Groot?
Or him? Both. I don't know. A handicap match, I guess.
I am Groot. I have a T. I was wearing my I am Groot t-shirt yesterday.
Probably one of my favorite Disney characters of all time.
Groot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good character. All right, who wants to talk some wrestling? Now who wants to talk some wrestling?
Hey, that sounds like a good idea.
All right, I like it. Adam, you got some pro wrestling week of?
Y'all, I tried to be so picky, but there was so much that went on in this week of pro wrestling history that it was just,
Which is funny because like Eric Bischoff does talk a lot about like summertime being like you don't have like major storylines in the summertime. Although, I mean, you had Goldberg
And
what?
And- Goldberg and
Well, Goldberg and Hogan.
the
Yeah.
NWO.
what?
The start. I was gonna say the start of the NWO.
Yeah.
July.
July 96. Yeah,
Oh
okay.
God! Did you guys hear that? That was a fart in church.
That was the Mets winning anything.
I even forgot what we were talking about. Thank you, Jimmy.
All right, let's, oh God, this is a list. Let's strap in.
Strap in and strap on.
July 9th, 2000, WCW's Bash at the Beach with the Jeff Jarrett laying down for Hogan and Hogan, you know, the whole Russo incident. July 9th, 2001. So a year later, the alliance is formed on WWE Monday Night Raw.
I remember, dude, I gotta pause you there. I actually like I could remember in my mind's eye where I was watching that Raw.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know why I was such a mark for WCW. Like when that happened, I was at my girlfriend's house at the time. Her name was Colleen, and I was watching wrestling. I remember I was watching wrestling in her living room, and like her dad's like sitting there, like, who the fuck is this guy? Again, sorry, Pop, for cursing.
You didn't know who Buff Bagwell was?
What's that?
Oh, I was like, you didn't know who Buff Bagwell was?
Oh yeah, no. But anyway, I was 19 years old. I was watching wrestling, and then the lines came on, and like I got excited. I'm like, ooh! I like jumped out of my seat. I'm like, that's so freaking cool. And I just remember getting teased by her dad, like who the hell is this guy? Like watching wrestling at this 20-year-old watching wrestling. So I remember that night. It was that was that. See, had you not brought that up, I would have not brought that up.
Where am I? Oh, July 9th, 2017, WWE's Great Balls of Fire.
Woo!
I was actually,
Great.
so I wasn't going to put this one down, but then I remembered, well, I didn't remember, but I was actually in the crowd for Great Balls of Fire.
No kidding, man.
Yeah, I was living in Waco, Texas at the time, so it was just a little hour and a half drive up, 35 to Dallas. My best friend and friend of the show, Sean Kennedy, had come out for the
Kennedy.
Kennedy.
You know.
And it's really funny because as when we were looking for somewhere to park, we passed some bar or some other like smaller venue, and there was a huge line of people. And about that time, maybe a month or actually a year later, is when I started listening to Something to Wrestle with Bruce Pritchard and started getting into what became ad-free shows. And I got hooked on it and went and downloaded like every archive episode. And as I was making my way up to July 2017, they started advertising Something to Wrestle live in Dallas with enough time to get from the venue to where Great Balls of Fire was, so you could get your Bruce Pritchard live show and then go see WWE's Great Balls of Fire. So my point is, it's just such, kind of a small world thing where I saw that group of people had no, they looked like wrestling fans, but I didn't know what they were lined up for. And then a year later,
because you were backed up, you didn't get it. Like had you been alive, you would have gotten like, oh shit, I could have gone there.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Let's see. July 11th.
I like that show a lot, though. Going back to Great Balls of Fire, like I actually like that show.
It wasn't, the name is bizarre,
It
but the show was great.
But I mean, but Brock versus Samoa Joe was a good match.
Oh, that place was.
I only would have changed one thing at that show.
What's that?
That you won.
Huh?
That Samoa Joe won.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think everyone in the crowd that night wanted to change that.
It would have been an awesome moment if Samoa Joe came out with that belt. I was so behind Samoa Joe, man.
Always gonna kill you.
Right?
Brock.
I mean, that's and how many people like wanted that? I remember thinking to myself when Brock Lesnar was fighting Frank Mir, I remember saying to myself, like, I would imagine Brock Lesnar versus Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah.
Never thought it was going to happen. And not only did you think it was going to happen, you didn't think you were going to care about it as much as you did.
And how credible was Joe?
Oh, he was. I think he should have won. He was awesome. Like, it kind of thinks like Bobby Lashley. Like, I never thought I'd want to see Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar until I saw Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
Joe was probably the most credible person to beat Brock at that time.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And then
Monster at that point, man.
he really was. And then you had the Iron Man match between the Bar and the Hardy Boys.
Yep.
Alexa Bliss with her double jointed gimmick to make it, look like she had some gruesome elbow injury. It was that Great Balls of Fire, despite the name, was a phenomenal show.
Yeah, it was a good show. I remember
it was Great Balls of Fire.
Exactly. Woo! Great Balls of Fire. Goodness gracious.
July 11th, 2005, a recently released Matt Hardy returns to Monday Night Raw to attack Edge, turning the love triangle into a storyline.
That was a good storyline.
July 11th, 2013, WWE's Performance Center opens up in Orlando, Florida. July 13th, 2005, Matt Hardy calls in to Bite This to rip Lita a new one. July 13th, 2015, the Divas Revolution kicks off on Raw. The website, again, all my little history facts says it was the phenomenal trio of Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte Flair. So
There you go.
So
I
Charlotte-
don't think they cloned Charlotte.
That's
July-
she's so nice, they say it twice.
Exactly. July 14th, 1994, Hulk Hogan takes a stand in the McMahon steroid trial.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Finally, July 15th, 2005, Eric Bischoff makes his WWE debut as the first general manager of Monday Night Raw.
in 2002.
What?
Yeah, 2002. Yeah, 2002.
Was it? Oh, no, it was.
It was 02.
Oh, I just typed it up from the site, so don't blame me. Not my fault.
We're here to educate.
I was gonna say if the listener remembers one thing, he'll remember that one for the bad year.
Yeah. Yeah, the YouTube comments of all 20 subscribers, they're gonna get
It'd be funny if that one viewer was Eric Bischoff and he commented and said, "No, I was there in 2002."
Yeah.
uh
Yep, Jimmy, there you go.
let's get into
Oh no.
birthdays. Shelton Benjamin, July 9th, 1975. Mark Marrow, July 9th, 1960. Kevin Nash, July 9th, 1959. Sami Zayn, July 11th, 1984. Tyson Kidd, July 11th, 1980. Brock Lesnar, July 11th, 1977. Shane Helms, July 12th, 1974. Sean Waltman, July 13th, 1972. Bubba Ray Dudley, July 14th, 1971. Anna Jay, July 15th, 1998. QT Marshall, July 15th, 1985. Heath Slater, July 15th, 1983. Jesse Ventura, July 15th, 1951. Mil Mascaris, July 15th, 1942. And that is our little history lesson in pro wrestling.
Thank you.
Take a moment of silence real quick.
For
Draws.
Didn't we?
we did, but we can do it again.
I heard Mantor passed away though.
Yeah.
Like legitimately, like who's he? Mike Shaw?
Yeah.
Mike Shaw?
I don't know his real name, but yeah, saw it on
Yeah,
Twitter earlier this morning.
And Mentor passed away today.
Oh, that's a bummer. As Bruce Pritchard said, half man, half tar.
Yeah. Mike Halleck.
Mike Halleck. Well, Mike Halleck,
I, s-
you, my friend.
I saw a meme on Facebook the other day. I don't know who posted it, but it had Tito Santana as El Matador versus Mantor. Like if that like a dream match.
Oh, that's good. I don't know.
That
Why
would have
it's
been
so
great.
funny. It's great.
It's the visual of it, right? Like the red flag.
Oh, because you know Tito would have fucking sold it.
Yeah, and Vince would have loved it.
I know. I'm thinking about it. I'm almost wishing we got that now, right? Like I'm always upset.
You're a bullfighter.
Right? I mean,
What
can
do
you
you mean?
imagine?
He's half man, half.
He's half man, half tar.
My greatest, Bruce Pritchard at the Monday night debate at the first Starcast. Someone asked him, "What were your thoughts?" Like, some about gimmicks, and like, Conrad made a comment like Mantar, and like, what do you mean? He's half man, half tar.
Exactly. It's
So
great.
it was so campy, and then the following question was like, oh yeah, it was to Eric, I guess, and to Bruce. Like, what would have happened if Ted Turner could have had Brother Love?
What do you say?
Brother Love on one hand, Jimmy Hart on the other. It would have been an ancestral color of neon. It would have just oozed. It would have been so great. Like it was like such neon and Brother Love versus like Ted Turner couldn't afford Brother Love. It's like the mist.
There you go. Who wants to talk about Mick Foley?
Foley.
Let's talk about Mr. In Your House, In Your House. I'm a big, you guys listen to his podcast?
Oh yeah.
What about you, Ben? Listen to the podcast?
Every now and then I do.
Yeah, I'm definitely a weekly listener of the podcast. What about you, Jimmy? You listen to Mick Foley's podcast?
I do, and listen. I do listen to Mick Foley every once in a while, and also there's a good that might be an addition to the Foley studio, the Mankind Studios. If you ever watch the video, if you watch the videos in the coming weeks, you might see it. It's so obscured, but it fits where it needs to be.
Jimmy, what the hell are you talking about?
Can you be more cryptic?
Seriously, I mean, what are you talking about?
I think a while back I had a barbed wire baseball bat
You did?
on here
Why?
because it was signed by Cactus Jack.
No, but why would you have a baseball bat surrounded by barbed wire in your house? In your house.
Ah, I see what you did there.
Right? You like that, huh? Dun, 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 dun.
Jack and was from High Tops. Yeah, High Top. The place, and they were selling them, and I wanted one, and I got one, and
Was it in a case at least?
no,
Oh my goodness.
but I don't have it anymore, so it doesn't matter.
All right. Are you saying you're thinking about getting a new one?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
I'm sorry?
Haven't decided yet.
All right.
Cool.
Thanks for killing the town.
Baby.
That's all we got,
That's
ladies
our
and
weekly.
gentlemen.
That's our weekly baseball bat conversations.
Yeah, thank you. So Yeah, his podcast. Thanks for. Why the sad face, my friend?
I was joking.
I see my son. So I saw my son Will. I saw my kids for a few minutes tonight, and I see my son Will, and he's like, "Daddy." I'm like, "Yes." He's like, "Do a happy face." I'm like, "All right, do a happy face." Like, do a sad face. I'm like, "All right, do a sad face." Do an angry face. I'm like, "Do an angry face." So do a scare face. Do a scare face. So I started saying to him, like, I gave him some different faces to make, and we started making faces. So when you were doing your puppy dog face, that was one of the faces he made me. It was a puppy dog face.
It's one of it's one of the three faces of Jimmy.
Three
Who
faces
else?
of Jimmy.
Oh,
Which is a
We
great
also-
segue into Mick Foley, Long Island born and bred Mick Foley. So I am very partial to my man.
Jimmy's walked off set.
I was gonna say he's been shutting his camera off all night. Like, why now is when he chooses to walk away from the camera? Unless he's got like a mask that he's going on. Dude, if you
Oh, he's
took a
gonna
headband and said, "Hell, have mercy," I will applaud you, my friend.
come back as one of the Foley characters.
You know, if he doesn't, I'm gonna be disappointed now.
I know, because it's a big letdown.
Yeah,
Because we're waiting for something to happen. and
absolutely. And he's got cool
so,
stuff.
this is going to be good. He hasn't even given us a heads up or anything.
I
This
know.
is live, pal.
Maybe that was the cryptic thing he was trying to tell us.
Maybe Mick Foley's at his house.
I would. Maybe it's in his house, or
Yeah.
maybe in your house.
Should we continue with the show?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so.
This is great.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here, James. Seriously, what's going on? I mean, I hope he's okay. I mean, I try not to laugh when I say that, but I'm all serious. I hope he's okay.
Maybe he went to beat up that tree that got him last night.
Possibly. Could you could you see Jimmy? Oh, I got a visual of him walking back to the tree wearing and be like, "What now, bitch?"
I'm back, bitch. I'm back. I'm gonna cut you down, motherfucker. Oh dear.
Oh my!
What are we doing?
I don't know. Oh my goodness! I met Mick Foley a couple times. One time I met him. That was planned. I used to work for Geico.
Sorry, Gallagher. That time you're talking about, is that the picture that you sent me on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that one. So that's the first time I met him. So I was working for Geico Insurance, and they sponsored the Special Olympics. So Mick Foley would come to Geico and sign autographs and stuff like that and take pictures. So that was the first time. The second time I met him, I was in a mall right by my house, and he grew up right by where I lived. And he was doing a signing, and I'm walking around the corner, and I see like literally walking around the corner, sitting in front of me is Mick Foley. I'm like I had to stop short because I'm like, oh crap. I'm like,
wow,
like no line, and I'm like, shit, that's Mick Foley. I'm like, I grabbed. It was when he was doing his Halloween book.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I have like three. He signed. When I met him at Geico, he signed the "Have a Nice Day" book for me. And then when I met him there, but it was just like, it was the weirdest thing. Oh, was it Mr. Sacco?
Mr. Jimmy.
Oh,
God.
okay. You know what?
Is that
I'm
it?
not disappointed in that. I
You're
don't
not
hate it,
disappointed?
guys. I don't hate it. I don't know. I don't hate it.
Does it talk, Jimmy?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does it have a personality?
Or is he a mime?
It's like,
How you doing, fellas? How you doing?
Oh,
Oh,
Mr.
my
Socko's got a
goodness.
sore throat.
Yeah, and all right, ladies and gentlemen, I've taken how many? So
There
the
it
two
is.
people who are watching.
YouTube exclusive.
Yeah, so the two people who were watching, we got Mr. Jimmy, and that's what all that suspense was about. So thank you, Jimmy,
Yep.
for delivering on the suspense.
Oh, Jimmy, you're back.
That's what I'm here for.
Jimmy,
All right, well,
Jimmy,
Had a
you missed
hello.
Mr. Socko.
Welcome
Oh,
back.
I'm
Mr. Socko
sorry.
was just here.
I know.
Okay, I'll go say hi to him later.
All right.
Too much info.
Yeah.
Hey, anyway, we got.
So you bumped into Foley.
So I bumped into Foley at the mall, and it was kind of perfect. Like I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy a book from you and talk to you for 10 minutes, and because there was nobody else there, he just kept talking to me, and we would just chat, and then mostly just talking about growing up on Long Island. We were just talking about, and his kind of some of his favorite places he used to go to, and kind of what he did growing up and stuff like that. Just kind of his favorite moments of being on Long Island. And then I got a chance to talk to him again on the Zoom call a couple of months ago. And I asked him the same questions that I did the first time I saw him.
His daughter's very nice too.
Oh, his daughter ain't bad to look at.
But no, I mean just personality wise too.
Oh, I'm sure she's a delightful young woman.
I actually used to subscribe to her Patreon, and had a good couple hour conversation with her.
Oh, no kidding.
It was really cool.
And Gallagher, we've got a bit of a connection with Foley and his son, like the whole autism thing.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Actually, he came out here. He's actually coming here in September.
Cool.
I was
When?
thinking about September. I can tell you right now. Cheap plug for the Spokane Comedy Club. I had seen him about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago. He was out here.
Is this the comedy show that he does?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he comes out to Spokane, which is really cool. Let's see. Ironically, the first date I get is Saturday, August 12th. Where is Hinds Marsh in South Australia?
Oh, that's in Adelaide.
How long is that from you?
Not worth getting on a plane for. It's
It's a
about
plane ride?
4 hours away. Yeah, by
Oh, wow. Okay.
plane.
From now?
September 27th.
Yeah, that would be.
September 22nd for you.
September 22nd. 27th. Sorry. 927.
Oh boy, it's a Wednesday.
That sounds about right.
Well, I know we're talking about Foley here, but Mark's Tyrus, the former NWA heavyweight champion Tyrus, will be in my town tomorrow because he graduated from UNK in 1998.
Oh, no kidding.
Wait, former. He's not.
I don't know. I would pay that much attention.
Does anybody?
Say it again.
Making fun of the NWA.
Yeah. I thought he was a good champion.
Who's the champion?
I think Tyrus is still champion. Yeah, I
think so, right?
think the main event of their anniversary show is going to be Tyrus versus EC3.
Oh, EC3's back and doing this thing.
Yeah, the control your narrative or not get signed by a major promotion gimmick. I don't know.
Oh, gotcha. I was just saying like wrestling again in like a halfway popular one. How did fucking Jimmy? How did you guys just rearrange the way you guys? Oh, I think it's because some of you guys were going off camera and then went back on camera. I'm like literally like everywhere you guys were, you guys are just like Brady bunched around. I like this. I like this side of you, Adam. You're a lot giggly tonight. I like it.
Just been having fun, man.
I know, it's great.
Been enjoying the summer.
What kind of Funkos you got?
I've got, I say that loud. I've got a Cactus Jack and Dude Love.
Oh, that's awesome.
2/3 of the way to the Three Faces of Foley, but they're wanting $50 for Mankind.
Oh, not yet.
Wow.
Not yet.
Not when I bought these two for 10 apiece.
Exactly. Do you guys remember? You guys weren't born yet, but do you guys remember, Ben? You remember where you were when Cactus Jack first popped up in the WWF?
I wasn't quite watching when he debuted.
I used to.
I had to go back and watch it. Yeah.
It was great. I used to watch Raw on my mom's bed when I was like 14 years old. I used to sit on my mom and dad's bed, and I used to watch Raw in their bedroom because they're the only ones that had cable in the room. So we watched. That's where we watched Monday Night Raw, and I remember watching that episode because that was the episode that McMahon stunned. Stone Cold stunned McMahon, and that was the episode that Cactus Jack came back against Triple H. And it was
That was at the Garden, wasn't it?
Garden. Yeah, it was the first one at the Garden. At the
Don't I
Garden.
go-
It was at the Garden. I should have been on what that mean for this week. Madison Square.
Oh, have you got one?
I can make one up. I think I got one.
Okay. All
It's
right.
kind of I'm okay. I'm on the fence about it because it has a curse word in it, and I'm really trying not to curse that much on the podcast.
Oh,
So-
fuck it. I don't mind cursing.
Because I got one that's pretty like it's a good one. It's a good one. I think it's.
Well, let's do it. Like
Alright,
you can
cool.
always not say the swear word then. And
All
I'll
right,
just
all
say
right.
it.
So, all right. So when you come across someone that is like, can you believe this person? Can you believe what they're doing? Like, come on, man, right? Like, so we'll say this effing guy.
Okay. Are we doing it now?
Yeah, you just said let's do it now. Let's do it now.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Let me just bring up my one first.
This fucking guy. That's exactly. See, this is exactly my point. This fucking guy.
Adam and I are out of this. It's you two.
Oh, dude,
Okay.
I haven't even practiced an Australian accent yet, man.
All right. Here we go. Ready? This fucking guy.
Yeah, I know. It's great. Say it again. This fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
You got to drop it in later on while we're doing it. That's the deal now. Because you
Oh,
just do it
that's
so
good.
much, dude. You do it so much better than the rest of us.
This
For real.
fucking
Yeah, but I grew up with like American TV and movies and stuff. It's kind of ingrained.
Yeah, I can do
Like-
a bad British
Ben-
accent, but I can't do a bad Australian
Man,
accent.
you almost sounded like you were Sylvester Stallone.
Which is
Yeah.
fun.
What do you mean?
Good.
Oh, that was Rodney Danger.
Hey, oh.
Sorry. Okay. Are you guys ready for yours?
No, but go for it.
It's just Gallagher. That's all it is. Me and
No,
Jeff.
no. Everybody has.
No,
to do
everybody's
it.
everybody's enterprising. I mean, everybody's in.
Otherwise, you're fired.
You're fired. See, look
Okay.
at that. Another good.
All right, you ready?
No.
I gotta go to the servo.
I'm gonna butcher the accent, but I know what it means.
You want me to say it again?
I gotta go to the servo. That was
You
horrible.
want to try?
Oh,
All right, AJ.
Gotta go to the servo.
that was good.
That was good. That was good. That was good. All right, Jimmy.
I gotta go to a servo.
You just said the phrase in your own voice, you knucklehead.
My head hurts, so no.
I wonder why.
Okay. AJ, do you want to explain what you think it might mean?
You gotta go to like a convenience store,
Close.
gas station store.
Service station, gas station. We call them a petrol station or a servo.
Oh, a servo, like a service station.
That's what I just
Right on,
said.
man. Well, no.
Yeah.
I thought you said servo. I didn't know what it meant.
Oh, okay. So the V, yeah, okay.
See the accent with the servo. See, if
This
you would have said it, and then if you,
fucking guy.
if this exactly this fucking guy, see, and it's applicable in any situation.
When you first said it, I thought you said server.
Okay.
It was close enough, but yeah.
But AJ nailed it.
And then, well, Ben, so Ben won again. So Ben, of course, you got to say another one for the good guys.
What are we doing right now? Hey,
It's survey time, right? So you won. It's another one for the good guys because you always win these friggin' things.
I don't know. AJ's getting pretty good though. I think.
It was. You know, actually, let me take that back. Actually, I think AJ did a better Australian accent than Ben. You did a New York accent. Not that it was bad, Ben. It was good.
Good.
I think AJ stepped his game up so much tonight. We got to give it to AJ.
You know what? I feel like AJ is the only one taking this seriously.
I just don't know how. I just don't know how to change my voice and do stuff like that.
Me neither.
I can't do impressions. I can't do anything, man.
Okay, Mr. Mackey.
It's all part of the fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we needed a new segment, so what the hell?
Hey, it's fun.
Yeah.
Are we still on? Wrestling?
Yeah, we're talking about Mick Foley, of course. Let me turn my light on in the room.
We're on the fly here, so just switching things up.
Yeah.
Give me one Jonesy jokes.
One.
No. One off
we'll
the top
do
of your head. No. Not even looking at what you got right there. Just one off the top of your head.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah. Come on.
Let's keep going, and I'll drop one in somewhere.
All right, can't wait. I don't know. I don't know.
This fucking guy.
It's exactly. See. Oh man, what was your guys' favorite version of Mick Foley?
Babyface Mankind.
Babyface Mankind, circa like 99.
Like the comedy version.
Yeah.
Or Commissioner. That was hilarious.
Commissioner was great too. Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, AJ? What's your favorite version of Foley? And any version, not even necessarily the three faces of Foley. We can do a fun, quick hot shot best one of those. But just as far as your favorite version of Mick Foley, his entire career.
Commissioner was great. The ever-changing office and office locations and the cheap pop of right here and insert city name.
That was great. So when I met Mick Foley, I said cheap pop, and that's why he did the whole wink and the thumbs up in my picture. I said cheap pop to him. So it was
cool. I like the mid 2000s, that match against Randy Orton for the Intercontinental. That's probably one of my favorite Mick Foley matches for sure. So that version was good. And I thought TNA Mick was entertaining.
Could you say that he was one of those guys who kind of knew how to reinvent himself?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at WCW to ECW, New Japan, he found one way or another, sometimes even multiple ways, to get over within each promotion that he was in.
Well, you think about the times he came back to the WWE, the first time when he was a Rock and Sock versus Randy Orton and Evolution. That was one. And then, like you said, the match he had the match against Edge in 05. Then he had the match against Orton in 06. Like, it's what, Jimmy? All right, shake. Which ones? I was going to say, regardless if I'm wrong or not, let me just finish my thought. The point is, it's like, I think he came back both times in the mindset of, I got to be a different character. And I think he succeeded being a different character.
Oh, yeah. And he definitely.
Yes, Jimmy.
04 was Orton.
Okay, thank you.
And 6 was Edge.
All right, thank you.
And I think that's something he talks about a lot in his podcast of, when I came back, I wanted to be, this kind of character I wanted to do, and I think that's key to not only staying over or getting over, but still getting that reaction when these guys do come back and not.
He's a really smart guy.
He really is.
I enjoy listening to his podcast because I enjoy listening to him. I enjoy listening to the way his mind works and how he describes things.
AJ, what'd you think of his matches with Flair in 06?
06, God.
Those are TNA matches or those the WWE matches?
WWE.
I'm gonna be honest, Jimmy. My mind's blanking on those matches right now.
At Vengeance 06, he had a 2 out of 3 falls regular match with regular style with Flair. And then at SummerSlam 06, he had a I Quit match with Flair
That's the one I remember. The I Quit match.
at SummerSlam.
And he lost, right, to Flair?
Yeah.
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 He got DQ'd at Vengeance, and then he quit at SummerSlam.
I tell you,
Yes.
man, one of the things he really did well is he made everybody else look like $1 million.
Oh yeah. His match against his retirement match against Triple H.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I recently, I think I watched that late last year, earlier this year. And that was back when Triple H didn't let go of the arms for the pedigree. And
Ooh,
watch
God.
Nick's face come straight down on those thumbtacks.
Was that Backlash 2000 in the cell?
No Way Out.
Yeah.
Oh no, yeah, okay.
February.
I forget what he calls it on his podcast, but his whole, the Foley, give and take, or the Foley, basically his the way he thinks of taking these bumps. I remember just letting out a gasp when Triple H pedigreed him on those thumbtacks, and he had no way to.
That's when I was really, that was probably the height of my fandom, was at 99, 2000, 2001 time into 2002. That was really the height of my fandom. And man, I remember watching the Rumble against Triple H, the street fight in the Garden. And then I remember watching No Way Out, the Hell in a Cell.
Were you there for that street fight?
No, I didn't get a chance to go to that Rumble. I was at the next event I was at was Survivor Series 2002. That was the next event I went to. That was at the Garden.
How was it? Because he made an appearance at the 08 Rumble.
I was there for that. That was pretty cool.
How loud was that pop?
It was loud. It was not as loud as John Cena when he came back. That was a Rumble where Cena came back from his surgery early, when nobody expected him to come back.
That and the Snuka
And
Piper.
Snuka and Roddy Piper. I was going crazy. I was a little happy and tipsy. I was going crazy when Roddy Piper came out, man. And then when Mick Foley came out, I was going crazy too for him. Snuka, I could have given. I mean, I know why he came out. It was a good knowledge, it was a good nod to WrestleMania 1. But I'm not a big Snuka fan. But when Mick Foley came out, man, when Roddy Piper came out, that was something else, dude. And when John Cena came out, I don't remember much from that night. I remember watching Jeff Hardy and Randy Orton. That was one match. That was Ric Flair's. That was that was the kickoff of Ric Flair's retirement circuit. He fought MVP that night. And then that was cool. I'm trying to think. I forgot who else fought that night, but that was great. It was a good time. That was a great Rumble. And the Garden's always fun. The Garden was always fun to be at. And I'll tell you, I'm sorry to keep rambling on, but I'll tell you, it was a great memory of my ex-wife, because we went together with one of my friends, and her and I he wound up sitting with his friends, and her and I wound up sitting together by ourselves. And she was into it, and she had a really good time. So I'll say that was a good memory of my ex-wife.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Putting over the ex-wife. Heck yeah.
What about you, Ben? What kind of memories you got of Mick Foley?
I had seen in the Aptomags, when he first sort of started out training with Dominic Danucci, and hearing the name Cactus Jack in like where he would go to the Japan territories. And I remember he was in a tag match against Andre at one point, which blew my mind. I didn't follow WCW in the early 90s, so my first exposure to him was Mind Games with Shawn Michaels. That was a fantastic match. And then kind of, I was a bit hit and miss with him until, sort of, I don't know, late 97, early 98, probably the Royal Rumble 98, actually, was when I was first like, oh, wow, this guy's got 3 different characters. This is cool.
Would you say that Mind Games with Shawn Michaels might be a hidden treasure that people need to go see?
Absolutely.
That's anytime I think of Mick Foley, I think of that match. That's
being able to pull off a match like that with someone like Shawn Michaels, with Foley's, like his style was just so different, but he could work with almost anybody.
That match got me back into wrestling. I was home during the summer, and because I want to say it was in July or August, maybe September, but I know it was one of those summer. But I remember I was home and I was watching that match, and it was like the first time I had watched wrestling in like a year, and I started watching, and I that pay-per-view, and I sat down and I saw that match, and again, remembering exactly where you were while you were there, like in that moment. Like I can remember, like I was alone in my mom's and dad's house. I was downstairs. I was watching it in the living room, and I was watching this match by myself. I was eating Rice Krispie treats, and I'm watching this match, and I'm like, wow, this match is unbelievable. And I just remember thinking, I'm like, I got to start watching again. It's really, I couldn't tell you a match from the rest of the night, but I remember watching that match from beginning to end and just thinking like, wow, like if this is wrestling now, I got to start watching again. So that match was fantastic.
Yeah, it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Thanks for bringing that up. And then, of course, I remember, as I'm sure all you guys did, where you were the first time you saw the Hell in a Cell match.
Oh yeah.
25 years,
Oof.
maybe.
I was sitting in that same exact spot with my friends watching that. And we were eating Lay's potato chips. And I remember just watching and him jumping. It's so funny. Like there's so many things I remember where I was when it comes to wrestling.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
It's funny that like when he was thrown off the top, everyone thinks, oh, that match didn't last long. And then it just continues on for another 15 minutes or so of just being just so brutal.
Tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're still talking about it.
I know.
No one will ever forget it.
No. Not as long as they remember, and not to be negative, but I mean, he's made a and well deserved because he earned it, but he's made a post career out of talking about that match because everybody wants to hear about it. I mean, it's such a perspective that everybody wants to know and hear. It's like, oh my goodness, and he's such a great storyteller.
Yeah.
Match in total was 17:38.
I wonder how much of that actually was spent in the ring. Because you got to think he was on the ground for how long?
So they started at the top of the cell.
They did. Like I'm curious how much of that 17 minutes they actually spent wrestling.
I don't think long because it was start the cell, throw off.
I'd say probably 5 minutes of on top of it, maybe stopping, and then another 5 minutes. It's probably 10 minutes in total.
I wonder what's messed up is I can actually probably Google that and I'll probably get the answer. I'm sure somebody somewhere has written it on the internet.
Well, they just did Foley and Taker just sat down for like half an hour to watch that match together.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it yet. I started watching. I haven't finished watching it.
It's a
I
good
wonder
time.
where WWE got that watch along concept from.
What's that?
And I wonder where WWE got the watch along concept from.
I got no idea.
It'll be a
Look 'em
mystery.
up.
I'll give you a clue. It starts with C and ends in Onrad Thompson.
I tell you, man, he's really an innovator. As we
Yep.
exactly as we wear his shirt, all right. And even you
Awesome.
too, AJ. You're wearing a shirt on
Okay.
the podcast on this podcast network.
Very fun.
We're doing this podcast because of him.
It's exactly this all started with Bruce Pritchard. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, we all met because of Conrad.
Exactly. It's insane. It's insane how much this guy, how much good this guy brings to the world.
Exactly. He's like he brought so much good to us that we are getting Mr. Ben Jones halfway across the world next year sometime to come hang out with us.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Fingers crossed.
someone's gonna have to bring me as a +1 next year because I need to cut back my Top Guy subscription for a couple months. So I just need a +1 next summer so I can come with you guys.
Okay, Gallagher, you're mine. Jeff, Ben, you're
Well, let's not put that on a recording yet. Let's talk about that off air. Thank you. We don't want to put that. We don't want to put that on there. Maybe AJ's wife wants to go with him.
We'll talk about it off air.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly. We'll talk about it off air. So we want to assume that somebody.
I was making jokes, I'm sorry.
No, dude, you're fine. Fine, fine. James, you're fine.
I know I'm fine, thank you.
Ah.
Where did I get that line from?
I have no idea. No idea. So we talked about mind games. We talked about Cactus Jack. I don't think we can talk about Mick Foley without talking about This Is Your Life, Rock.
Oh,
This
such a
is your life. First off, Rock's birthday is in May.
So I think it's fantastic. He's just the Rock and Sock connection. And they weren't together for that long, but they made such a big impact.
Oh yeah.
I kind of look at those guys like the Hollywood Blondes, like they weren't together. They were like we feel like they were together longer than they actually were.
I think that's.
I remember.
I think it's because of them, reuniting to fight Evolution.
Well, just such a great the fun memories we have. What were you saying, Ben?
Oh no, just that backstage segment where Mankind was like injured and he couldn't go out to the ring, and he tells The Rock, "Go out there and win one for the Micker."
Yeah.
And The Rock comes back and he goes, "What the hell's a Micker?"
They played off each other well, and I mean you got to give it to Rock too. The Rock really bought into it.
Oh
then-
yeah.
And then also with the dynamic of Al Snow sort of thing, like
Oh yeah.
Like-
I got my John Cena squeezy mate tonight.
There you go.
Oh, that would have been good for our John Cena episode.
It was around for the John Cena episode.
Oh, was it? Okay.
It was.
Maybe I didn't see it.
It's all right. Hey, it's called a throwback, my friend, or a callback. Yeah.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, it's called product placement.
Okay, I'm learning all about this.
Yes. Apparently we don't get paid for it either. So I got that one. And I also got a Triple H one.
Ah,
Oh,
was that
Is
on
that
our
fu-
Triple H episode?
Squishums. They called Squishums. Yeah, he didn't make an appearance on our Triple H episode. We just got him recently.
Ah,
Yeah, these are Michaels. But when I'm on the phone at work, I like to fucking squeeze the shit because people piss the fuck out of me.
This
hey, I
fucking
thought you were
guy.
going to slow down on the cursing.
This fucking guy.
This fucking
Shit
guy.
happens. Ah, this fucking guy.
This fucking guy. Oh
Fucking-
man. So some of his other matches I wanted to, we were talking about the one match we didn't talk about was the I Quit match against Rock, where he got knocked in the face, 100 million times.
Oh,
Gosh.
that's hard to watch even now.
If I was a Rock, I'd be putting his kids in. If I was a Rock, I would be putting his kids through college.
I think it was because that was that match part of Beyond the Mat?
I believe so.
Yeah.
because I think it was 13 at least 13 chair shots to the head.
I think it was 21, maybe.
Okay.
I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. I don't know.
And the Foley was front row for that match.
Gallagher, Google that shit.
GTS.
See,
Let's see. I don't have my cheaters on like Ben.
manual.
Though I think it's funny because, all right, so what I find funny is, and I could be completely wrong, is, never mind. I'm not gonna say it out loud.
Hi.
Let's see. Chair shots. Mick Foley.
Rumble. We're talking about, because he had some, so back-to-back years he had some banger matches at the Royal Rumble with Rock and then Triple H.
Yeah, he had some bangers at Mr.
Yeah.
In your house too.
In your house.
See?
And
In your.
Anytime he was with Triple H, they were brutal matches.
So let's talk about it. I have a question. Who is his best rival?
I reckon it's a coin toss between Undertaker and Triple H.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
What about his matches against Stone Cold? He seemed to be the guy Stone Cold kind of chased around when he became champion.
there's Stone Cold maybe.
It's funny. I feel like that the three faces of Foley were around. I feel like it was such a shorter time. I didn't realize they were around so much longer. From like early 97 or like mid 97 to like late 99. He was still doing it.
But I would probably say, yeah, it might be Taker with the notoriety just because of the cell.
But they also had the Boiler Room match at SummerSlam as well.
11
a couple of years
shots.
earlier.
How many?
11.
Yeesh.
Man,
Still,
still.
11 chair shots unprotected.
Yep. Yeah, he might have gotten more chair shots, but he got 11 to the head.
Plus,
Yeah.
plus King of the Death Match thing in Japan, where he lost his ear, or Germany. I'm in Germany.
It's Vader.
Yep.
No,
So I was
I'm sorry, Ben. Again.
no, I was just thinking this is a complete random thought that I had the other day, and I just wrote it down. But Foley's babyface character, like Mankind when he was Mankind, and how lovable he was, reminded me of the Bushwhackers in a way that they used to be really hardcore before they came to WWE. And I feel like Foley was kind of the same, where he was really hardcore prior to coming to WWE, and then he became a lovable character. So the kind of,
Yeah, it's a good one.
same sort of background,
he was still pretty hardcore though.
I was gonna say, except he kept going with where the Bushwhackers became.
where the Bush, yeah.
How are you? Are you a Bushwhacker fan?
I mean, they were entertaining, but I wasn't really a fan.
He's a Shawn Michaels fan.
No. God, no.
Don't knock Shawn Michaels. Love Shawn Michaels.
No, we've been there and done that.
Yes, we have. Wrote the book, did the podcast. Didn't make a T-shirt though.
Not yet.
No.
We need some merch.
Although I would definitely wear a Zip Code Bros T-shirt every time we did the. Actually, speaking of, this is great. Let me find it. Hold on.
You could wear one if you go for a job interview.
Yeah, there you go.
Because you want to impress them.
Hey, tell me you're a wrestling fan without telling me you're a wrestling fan.
So the last.
Yeah.
So the last. The last house that my brother and I lived in together was in North Babylon, New York, and the zip code was 11703. So.
Oh, so that's not from running a marathon then.
No. It's I didn't come in 11,000. I didn't come in 11,703rd place now.
Oh, that's your registration number for when you do the
there
run.
There you go. When my brother's like, I'm like, why? Because I got 11703 and 11704, and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, why are you sending me shirts with zip codes on? He's like, the zip code bros. I'm like, he's like, that's the zip code you're from. I'm like, you're good, you.
This fucking guy.
This fucking guy. And what's great about that term, Ben, is you can use that for anything. Like the guy's being a moron, this effing guy. Or the guy's being like the best guy in the world, this effing guy. Look at this effing guy. You know, so you can use that. Like the word dude, like dude. Like dude.
Dude. Dude. Dude. Where's
So
my
many
car?
emotions. So many ways you can pronounce the word dude and get your point across.
Just getting back to the shirt though with the zip code. Our postcodes are only 4 digits, whereas yours are 6, are they?
5.
5, okay.
There'll be 5, but some of them have PO boxes on them, so there'll be slash. So some of them have 9. Some of them have 9 digits.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which is confusing as hell, by the way.
Well, there you go.
But there you go. Well, look at that. So some fantasy booking, guys. Who would you like to see Mick Foley fight? And I'll even do a fun one. Like, let's even, who cares? We got all the time in the world. I'll say 3 faces of Foley, right? Who would you like to see 3 faces of Foley fight? Mankind, Cactus, and Dude Love.
That's an interesting one.
So one of those faces faces the other face. Is that
No,
correct?
you could pick like, so say Dude Love versus somebody, Cactus Jack versus somebody, and Mankind versus somebody. Like me personally, I would love to see Dude Love versus Shawn Michaels. I thought that would have been a cool match.
Yeah. That'd been good. I want
What about
Because I think
what
Shawn
about
Michaels would,
Mankind?
like, I think Shawn Michaels would sell it to the point where he would like entertain it and like make the crowd get behind Dude Love and stuff like that. I think Shawn Michaels would do a good job with it because I think he liked Mick Foley.
Yeah,
we could popcorn this too, guys.
I'll go with Mankind versus the Fiend.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
Dude.
Ooh, mic drop.
Cactus versus Eddie Kingston. And I'll go Dude Love. Yeah, Dude Love versus Orange Cassidy.
Oh, that's a good one. Oh, Dude Love versus Matt Riddle would be good too.
Oh yeah.
Or a tag team. Matt Riddle and Dude Love would be a good tag team.
Oh,
Bro. They would be the Dude Bros.
Cactus Jack versus Mark Briscoe or Eddie Kingston or Nick Gage. I feel like a hardcore match with those sons of.
Oof, man, Nick Cage, that would be dangerous. Cactus Jack versus Nick Cage would be dangerous.
Well, so was Cactus Jack.
Well, I'm saying is you get 2 of those guys in the same ring that want to outdo each other. That's why it's dangerous. They freaking kill each other.
But Cactus Jack in his pre-prime?
That's what I'm saying. Like Cactus Jack in like the late 80s, early 90s.
I've got one this bit old school, but Mankind versus the Missing Link. Just that unpredictable style where it's just they're both crazy. I don't know. I could just a weird kind of match, you know, where you don't know how the styles are going to clash, but they're both, you know, a bit tapped in the head.
John Cena versus either not Cactus, Dude Love or Mankind.
That'd be interesting. That would be a good clash.
And I'm talking, when I say John Cena, I'm talking basic economics one.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
What about Mankind versus Cactus Jack?
Mankind versus Cactus Jack would be good. I would like to see Mankind versus Abyss.
Oh.
That would be good.
I like that. And a Cactus Jack. I would like to see Cactus Jack versus Bruiser Brody.
That'd be good.
Oh yeah.
It might have even happened. I don't know. I'm just saying that was one of the matches I wrote down for myself.
We'd have to ask Dutch. I don't think he did.
I know Taker did.
Taker fought Bruiser.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. He did. He was on that Tyson
he-
podcast you told me about.
When he was
down-
Big Red.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that USWA or was that WCW?
No, USWA, I think.
Stopped.
And he had Paul Bearer as his manager back then.
Percy Pringle.
Percy, yeah.
And I saw a video of Bruiser making an entrance, I think in Japan. Just coming out, swinging that chain.
I'll be right
Yeah.
back. Hey, gentlemen, you mind if I just hit the pause button for a second?
Yep.
I appreciate it. All right. So we're going to pick it up. We don't remember where we left off, so we're going to pick it up. I want to give a shout out to James Elkarai. It was nice seeing him the other day on Zoom. I hadn't seen him for a while, and he was putting me over. He was putting Ben over, and it's always good to see James, and good. He's a good man.
Yeah, make sure you follow the Kick Out crew on YouTube and social media and all that, because they're amazing guys.
Yeah.
All love for those boys.
Exactly.
Even Devin and his Nitro Pepsi.
Even Devin's an actual Pepsi. But speaking of Devin, does he have a question for the bros?
Oh, good segue.
I like that, right?
Um,
It's called the
actually,
Volley.
while we're talking about Devin, I don't know if you realize, but he's got me a unofficial relationship with referee Mike Chioda.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, apparently I am Mike Chioda's secret child
Oh wow.
from when he came to Australia. Apparently my dad is not my real dad, and I am Mike Chioda's son. So thank you, Devin.
I
All
like
right.
it.
Okay, so let's get to the questions.
My Kyoto.
Mike Chioda.
So
Shout out-
actually, huh?
I said shout out-
Mike
Cut.
Chioda.
Cut the music. No more singing. No more singing about my dad.
Shout out to Efren from the Premier Streaming Network. Love you, buddy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Efren's a legend.
That's a good word for him.
Oh, it's
That's
true.
it.
No, I agree with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Devin is actually up first. Let me just change the screen a bit. Okay. So who was Mick Foley's greatest rival? I mean, we sort of discussed it briefly just before.
I think
So
his greatest rival was Triple H.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you had to if you had to pick one, Triple H.
Yep. I picked Triple H.
I'd agree with that.
Taker's a close.
Yeah, it's like one A and one B, or however you, yeah. What's your favorite Mick Foley TNA match?
Lockdown.
That one.
That one?
That one.
The most Bruce Pritchard-esque answer I've heard.
Lockdown.
Top 5.
Top 5 for sure.
All right. Could anyone else have played Dude Love, Cactus Jack, and Mankind at the same time as well as Mick?
Oh, hell no.
There's only one that could do it, right?
I don't know. Mick Foley only.
All right. Gallagher, are you there?
Hold on. I'm coming back on.
We can't see you. Captain Charisma. We can't see you. There you are.
No, we got it now.
I think the question would probably, a better question might be, well, not even a better question, but just to kind of restructure that question is, could have anybody else played 3 characters at the same time as well as Mick Foley? Not necessarily those 3 characters, because those 3 characters were his, right? Like nobody else could have done that. But do you think there was anybody else who maybe could have done those just 3 characters like that separately?
No.
Nope. No?
No.
Nope.
Do you believe there were 3 different, I legitimately believe there were 3 different characters.
Mick Foley has
Like when I played, WrestleMania 2000, and when I played No Mercy, when I played all those video games, SmackDown, I legitimately would make those 3 guys like wrestle each other like there were actually 3 different people.
I didn't believe in Dude Love. I just thought it was like Mankind wearing hippie stuff.
I like Dude Love.
he is more believable than
I mean-
Jet.
Here we go.
I wouldn't mind. I
bra-
would have liked to see Dude Love get the belt for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be
What
great.
What is awesome about Dude Love is that for Mick Foley, having a childhood character that he created in the WWE, like that's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
With as much how much of a workhorse Dude Love character was, it would have been cool to have him win the IC title.
Right, just I think even like the world title for like 5 minutes, like just you have him beat Stone Cold because Vince McMahon screwed him over, right? The give Dude Love the title for like 5 minutes. He beats him the next night on Raw. Like I think
It was really awesome.
right. I think the visual of him with the belt would have been cool. So
Okay, Devin.
I was happy when he won it in '99.
Oh yeah, with the pop from Austin when he came out.
Heck yeah.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Another one. There you go. Forget about it. Again, another term you can use in many, many situations.
Wow. Thank you for the American language
Education.
lesson.
Yeah. Welcome.
That you didn't want.
All right. So Devin's last question is, who is the best Santa Claus in WWE history?
Yes.
That one.
This threw me off. This threw me off because I thought there was only one Santa Claus.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. This is true.
If you say anything bad about Christmas, we are gonna have some problems.
It's a good thing my kid's not home.
Yeah. All right.
But let's answer Devin's question.
So
though.
I mean,
Let's answer Devin's question though. I liked when Stone Cold dressed up as Santa Claus. That was my favorite Santa Claus.
do you remember when Bobby Heenan dressed up as Santa Claus and Roddy Piper beat him up? And apparently, WWE got a whole bunch of letters of complaint that Roddy Piper beat up Santa Claus on TV in front of all the kids.
No way.
He's a bad guy. Makes sense.
That was on prime time, I think it was.
That's no way. That's awesome.
That's great. Yeah.
Great story.
Okay.
Hey Jimmy, we keeping you awake?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I was thinking.
Might get things.
I was thinking like is there any better Santa Claus? Like,
Oh, okay. We can keep going then.
Yeah, it's just a quick question. Don't really need to think about it too much. But James Elkeride's up next. Is Mick one of the most underrated wrestlers in history? So he goes on to say he was everyone's first feud after they won the title. He's known for having great matches with Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, Undertaker, New Age Outlaws, Triple H, Edge, etc. Helped solidify his opponents as legit threats.
James, you look like you got something you want to say, buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
No. I was taking in that question.
Yeah. What you got? What do you think? Was he underrated? Most underrated? Did you get his flowers? What do you think?
He's up there with Christian. Like, not over, but underrated. Just he was so talented. Like he could work.
That's what I mean. He could work with anybody.
Anybody.
And then once his wrestling kind of wind down a little bit, the comedy he did from June of 2000 to December of 2000 was just guilty.
Here's a question for you guys that I've just thought of. But in your opinion, who's funnier, Foley or Kurt Angle?
Oh,
Ah, that's a tough one.
Isn't it?
It's 1A, 1B. I mean, Angle, you had that good stuff with Austin and those silly vignettes. Foley.
Yeah, it's a
He's-
tough one.
he's
I
more of
can't
a-
answer it.
He's more of a goofball.
yeah. I does both.
Alright.
Yeah, I think that's the guy. I was trying to think who was kind of more of a goofball, but they're kind of equally as goofy, right? Very similar humor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm gonna take the fifth on that one.
yeah, because like I mean his lunchbox with the sandwich, like, we're gonna do recess. All right. The whole when Eric was on trial for how bad of a GM he was. The prosecution was Mick Foley.
Oh yeah, that was great.
Yeah. All right.
Just
Next
like,
up.
just real quick, but you were saying before,
Yeah.
Ben, about different office areas he used to do.
And the gavel, that's
Yeah,
final.
exactly. It is great. Sorry,
That's
go ahead.
fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so up next is a friend of the show, Mikhail Galerg. So he's back, and his question is, what other Long Islander is just as awesome as Mick Foley? And the easy answer is, well, there is no one just as awesome. So.
This fucking guy.
Gallagher, maybe you want to respond to Mikhail.
Mikhail, I think the best Long Islander on the show is this guy, but
This fucking guy.
this fucking guy.
This fucking guy.
But I don't know who's a cooler Long Islander. I would say, I think Devin popped in MJF. So,
Nope.
MJF.
No.
Matt Cardona.
I'll go Matt Cardona.
Matt Cardona, Brian Myers.
I can get behind those two, not MJF. MJF, not so much. Nope.
I'm good with them.
MJF,
All right.
jump off a cliff. Views of
Okay.
what just transpired are not views of the Zip Code Bros, just Jimmy Sorensen.
Just Jimmy Sorensen.
Send your hate tweets too.
At
right.
OG James at 3.
There we go. Have we got AJ coming back? Do we know?
I'm not sure. I hope everything's all right.
AJ. Adam.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, just keep going. We'll pop back in.
All right. So up next, my friend from Melbourne, Chris Power. So he asks, what were the things you liked from Foley's 3 personas?
First of all, hey yo.
Hey, yo. Yeah, exactly.
What was the best aspect of each persona? That was the question.
What were the things that you liked from the 3 personas?
Things I liked. They were not too far off from each other.
I really liked. I like Cactus Jack's theme music.
Guitar.
That was pretty nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it was sweet. Yeah, I liked. I loved the Mankind character. My favorite face of Foley was Mankind.
Which version though? The 99 sort of 2000.
I tell you, I loved 96 to 97 Mankind.
Okay.
The original Mankind.
Yeah.
I love
All
that
brown,
character.
all decked out in brown.
Yeah, all decked out in brown, but just that crazy that Hannibal Lecter type of character, the cerebral type of character. What, Jimmy?
Was it almost American Psycho type of character?
Yeah,
The way he pulled his hair out and
when he's pulled his hair, but his matches against Taker, his matches against Vader, his matches against Shawn Michaels. I mean, his matches against Steve. He had some great matches against Steve Austin in 1997. He had some good matches with Rock in 97. I mean, that version of Mankind is my favorite, but he just made you wanted to like him, but there was something off about him.
yeah.
Adam, you okay, bud?
You right, Adam?
Yeah, we're good. Dad duty called.
No, I hear you.
Yeah. So Adam, this question was, what were the things that you liked from Foley's 3 personas?
I did like the early Mankind with the different music on the way to the ring, the different music when he won, you know, just I've always gravitated to the kind of dark, mysterious characters like that version of Mankind, Taker, Bray Wyatt, Joe Gacy, Aleister Black. You know, the kind of characters that give you a little nugget of who they are, but also leave it more questions along the trail. So yeah, early Mankind was my favorite. I mean, the comedy stuff was great, but just that early psychologically deranged version of Mankind was definitely my favorite, which is why I want that Mankind Funko Pop so bad, but no.
Nice.
All right, Jimmy, are you there?
Yeah, I had something. I wanted to make sure I didn't get that sour.
Dude, if it's Mr. Sacco again, I'm going to be very disappointed.
No, it's not Mr. Sacco again.
All right.
Okay.
It's just something go bad that I took earlier.
Okay.
All righty.
Yeah.
Up next is Mike Whitaker from the Kick Out crew. He asks, who would win in a three-way match? Mankind versus Cactus Jack versus Dude Love.
Cactus.
I think Cactus.
Cactus.
Ben?
Yeah, Cactus. Yeah, for sure.
Cactus.
All right. He also asks, what is your favorite Mick Foley character? Well, kind of covered that.
Yeah, we hit that.
Yeah. And of course, if Pizza Hut made a Mick Foley pizza, what would be on it?
3 cheese pizza.
But
Yeah.
to add the hardcore element in, you have to eat it straight out the oven.
Yeah, Shepard, the has to be.
Okay. Any other ingredients or anything, or?
I'm going, me personally, is 3 cheese pizza just because of 3 faces of Foley.
What about that's the name of the pizza then? 3 faces of cheese.
There you go. 3 faces of cheese. I like it.
I have 3 meat pizza.
You can do 3 meat pizza. That's what's great about this question. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Adam, what do you think? 3 cheese or 3 meat?
Well, if we're gonna go, I like 3 cheese because you could do the 3 cheeses of Foley.
Yeah.
One of them's gotta be Gouda.
I just thought of something as well. The only way to eat it is like if you apply the mandible claw. Like that's how you put it into your mouth. All right, that's all the questions we've got.
All right. Well, goes right into Jonesy's jokes, my man.
Okay.
Which, what I was going to ask before is, what is the difference between reading questions and then reading jokes? That you need your glasses.
I told you these are called gimmicks.
Oh, I gotcha. Where'd you get them?
Gimmick glasses are us.
I like it. You got it. Boom.
Boom.
It's okay. Sorry.
This fucking guy.
Ah.
Man, we gotta apologize.
Yes.
We gotta apologize to our viewers. Gallagher is not the sharpest tool in the shed.
I'm pretty sharp, but thank you.
Well, did he claim that he was?
Thanks.
Wow. Okay, this is news to me. All right, here we go.
I'm very pointy. I like to stick people. So I am a
Do
very
you know what? These glasses actually make me read better. So maybe I don't want to stuff the jokes up. That's why I
all
wear them.
right.
There's cheaters.
Cheaters. Okay. A friend of mine named his dog 5 miles so he could tell people he walked 5 miles. But today he ran over 5 miles.
Oh shit. Dude.
So
That's bad.
Ben, I need you to send me that because I got a friend that might enjoy that.
Oh my god.
Okay. Yeah,
My goodness.
I know. Like when you think about it, the visual and everything, he loves his exercise.
Oh.
Clearly.
Next. I keep
Next,
forgetting
I've just
tonight's not
finished reading a
Saturday.
yeah. I've just finished reading a book called How to Avoid Getting Scammed. It's the best $300 I ever spent.
That was good.
That was a great one.
Yeah, that was good, my
All
friend.
right. Okay, up next. I've dedicated my life to finding a cure for insomnia, and I will not rest until I find it.
Ah!
All right, you're getting there.
Okay,
Two for three.
3 for 3.
2 for 3.
3 for 3. Doggy
2
suck.
for 3. Dog one
All
was
right.
like bad, like bad, bro.
Mike, is that what you think?
Like,
Mike, is that what you think? Mike, is that what you think?
like, dude.
No matter what you
It
think.
doesn't.
I know where you go, Jimmy. I don't want to engage that. But yeah,
Okay.
it's like, dude.
Love you.
I've opened a gym where the instructors would go from door to door to tell people about the benefits of joining it. I've named it Jehovah's Fitness.
Man.
Shout out to that group of people.
Whatever.
All right, last one. I saw my dad slumped over the lawnmower, crying his eyes out. But then I figured he's just going through a rough patch.
That one again.
I saw my dad slumped over the lawnmower, crying his eyes out. But then I thought he's just going through a rough patch,
Oh, okay.
a rough patch of grass.
Yeah. I know.
Not the sharpest tool in the shed.
Hey, look, I think for the most part they were pretty good, if I do say so myself.
One
Give
first one was like tough.
I'll
That was
give that a solid A. I'm gonna give that a solid A. Everybody else, oh well, doesn't matter what they think. My opinion doesn't matter. My
Yeah.
opinion.
Anyway, Jonesy's jokes done.
that's what you got.
Yep.
That's it for the zip code bros.
Any music? Any update on music?
I'd love to, I'll give you a guy I've been listening to is Meyer Hawthorne. Check him out. He's got a nice little he's got a classic rock vibe to him, and he's got a nice like a pop. I'd say he does a good mix of classic rock, bringing a kind of current to it. So it's Meyer, Maier Hawthorne. Check him out.
Are you
But
gonna?
yeah, we're canning the music thing. I can't figure it out.
But you know what? I was just thinking that this is the weekly music section where you say, "Oh yeah, we're still trying to figure it out." And it just
Right,
continues
exactly.
to-
It's Gallagher. I was almost thinking today, like, you know what? I have like 12, 13, 15 pairs of sneakers. We can just like a Mike sneaker corner shit. And just like show off my sneakers. And that would be
Mike-
that. And
Hey,
it's
Mike-
more interesting than my music.
Concerts coming up? Any concerts coming up for you?
There is so yes and no. So every Thursday they have concerts in the park over here. And there's a couple of parks that I go to: Cherry Hill Park and Atlas Park and Riverfront Park. And a lot of those guys have music in the parks, like in the evenings. So they'll have like a guitar player, or they'll have like a duet, like a 3-piece band. And some like of the bigger parks will have like a full band. They call them live after 5. So I had a hard time calling those concerts last year. I just like live music, but they are concerts. So yeah, so me and the boys will probably check out a couple of those this summer. And we'd like to go see cover bands. The boys love to dance, so that's a lot of fun watching them dance and getting into the music. And Michael, my oldest, that hopefully you guys are watching, have seen and met. He loves dancing and he loves meeting the band. So he'll stay after the band, and he'll stay after, and he'll start talking to the band and asking them questions, and it's really, really cool. It's really cool seeing them interact, because that was a lot of what I did growing up, because my dad was in bands growing up, so that's what a lot of I did. I talked to my musicians a lot, and so it's cool kind of seeing that through my eyes again. And so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and that's why I love doing the music thing. It's just because it was so important to me growing up, but I just can't figure out what I want to do. Kind of like my life.
Here's what we'll talk after, but I think I got an idea.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, we don't want to get any. We don't want anybody stealing our ideas.
Bama.
Bama. Yeah.
Bama, what's he stealing?
Love you, Adam. All right. So
Well, that's it for me at the zip code.
Alright.
Bros. Adam Jefferson, where can we find you?
At the ARJ brand on Twitter for the personal stuff, at Coach A Jefferson for the football stuff. If you want to follow the team I coach on, it's at Lakewood Football One. My solo podcast, Just One Man's Thoughts, is on Twitter at Just Thoughts Pod and available wherever you get your podcasts.
Thank you. James, where can we find you, sir?
at OG James @free on the Twitter. Jimmy Sorensen 97 on Instagram. I'm also on Thread. It'll be on there somehow. I don't remember.
Okay.
James Sorensen. Then Mr. Ben Jones, how can we get a hold of you?
Still
On Twitter at AFS Ben Jones, and also at Zip Code Bros on Twitter. So feel free to send us some tweets, questions, comments, suggestions, anything you want.
Send your hate tweets to at OG James @free.
Yes, please.
On the Twitter, as he likes to say. Which totally has me saying it, and I'm not saying that negatively, Jimmy, because it totally has me saying the Twitter when I talk to other people now.
No, it's on the Twitter.
On the Twitter.
What's the background with that? Is that a thing, or is it just how you say it?
It's just the way Jimmy says it.
The way I say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the. I'm being fancy. Trying to be fancy.
I thought it might have been a inside baseball kind of thing.
No, it's a lollipop. It's a softball.
Actually, if you listen to Jericho's podcast, at the end he always says at the Twitter.
Oh, that's where it's from.
Oh,
Over here somewhere.
okay.
That's right. It was Jericho's pod. That's right. And
Gallagher,
here,
do you want to promote your Twitter handle, even though you don't even check it?
never check it. Not going to promote it. Guys, have a great evening. Thank you for checking us out. Episode 17 of the Zip Code Bros.
WrestleMania.
Peace.